Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Fong, thinking right out here in the lab, in the book, where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. Let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story. For life, I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? So let's get there together. And I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. So you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and two, might be true. We're in the book now. The concept now here is the 3 states of consciousness. And we're going to use the I as a metaphor for us. Remember, all the philosophical books, religious books, they all talking about you. That's the first thing. You become the story. The myth is about you. You practice the ritual to put yourself in that position. And when you put those things together and you practice righteous stuff and do righteous stuff, something magic will happen. Okay? That's the only way you can activate, we know what, serpent power, or better known as Kundalini, the chakras, all that. I'll give you all that lesson. But the whole idea is we're going to teach you how to make it happen. It's all mental. Let's go. The 3 stages of consciousness. The I, my calling card for a reason, remember, is as a metaphor. For who? You. The I coming into the physical form. Okay, consciousness in the physical form of the lynx or the lioness, which is Het Haru, is a symbol of you, the human existence. Yeah, from spirit to matter, and matter got to go back to spirit. All this is all mental, all this is all transformable, but you had to actually do it. That's what makes it right and makes it work. It represents your human soul. Again, pay attention. This is you. Now, in the same way that the I is the ray or projection of Ra, the supreme being, pay attention. The human soul that we all have is a ray or projection of the supreme being. No matter how you slice it, it's still the same thing, the spirit that's in us. Thus, the plight of the I, which is you and I, is a parable which the sages of ancient Egypt composed what? In order to explain human existence and to be able to impart that knowledge of what? Spiritual enlightenment for all spiritual aspirants, aka, in my case, right thinkers. My job to key that information. All you gotta do is use it in this context. It is similar in most respects. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. That means we're going to give you things you need, because when this time is up, if you do these things right, you will have the instruction you need to go back home conceptually. And watch this. It's called in most respects, every culture has it. In respects of other initiated, remember back then you had to be initiated into the cult. You couldn't just walk in and know there's an initiation process, And they had scriptures, and especially they had those from India. They have what called the Upanishads. Okay? Then they got the Bhagavad Gita. Then you got the Yoga Fasista. These are all same place, but different concepts and views, which they had respect for each other. It wasn't no one better than the other. It wasn't a competition. It was a choice. The Jews did the best than anybody. They chose Yahweh, and they've been riding that horse ever since. Why? And they've been coming in every time. Why? If you practice what you preach, it will manifest for you as a group of people. And that's just one or two. We got Christians, good Christians, bad Christians. It's just more bad than good. Jews, they all do the same thing. See? That's a little different. And they carry themselves a little different. So I respect them for that. Why? They follow tradition. I have no problem with that. Nothing they do bother me. Everybody sees every problem with the Jews. Why? Because they don't do what y'all do. They never did what other people do. That's the difference. And Christians, y'all think everybody got to be Christian. Moving on, I ain't got time for that. But the idea is to teach you how to be your best self. I don't give a damn what religion you practice personally. But the teachings are given through three main characters of the story. This is a story, mythological story about you and every aspect of you. And it pertains, the main characters are what? Ra, spirit. Het Hadu, consciousness that goes out into the world. That's us, okay? And Tahuti, that's his consciousness. That's God's way of communicating with Het Hadu. That's telepathy at its best, right there. Everybody God deal with, he deal with up here, not in the physical form. God ain't human. We are. It's all metaphorical, all symbolical, all mythological, but it's all lessons to teach that you can live. That's the beauty part of it. That's what makes all our belief systems work. Well, if you follow it, it leads you where you got to take it, where you got to go. And if it's done right. But it's given through three characters, the story. Ra, Het Hadu, and Tahuti. All are you. Het Hadu, now watch this. Your consciousness displays three distinct states of consciousness. You ready? This is teaching. Now, throughout the myth, again, this is a story taking you somewhere, leading you somewhere, and putting you in a driver's seat where it can be you. In so doing, the myth outlines what? The three important states of religion. Again, it works no matter how you use it. And watch this. It's a religious practice, but in its higher, artistic, and entertaining manner. Your preachers, when they teaching, someone put a show on. Some of them entertain. Okay, if that's getting the message across, I ain't got a problem with that either, but I can do without all the theatrics. Give me the message, okay? Keep it real, keep it honest, and we can go. But true religious practice is made up of three stages. I gave it before, of what? Spiritual practice, meaning you got to put the work in, as previously discussed. Therefore, it requires three stages of teaching of initiatic education. I'm going to take you through the stages. First stage is composed of the event of the myth. Again, we know the story. We're talking about Asar, Aset, and Hadu. Father, mother, and son. Me and you. But the concept is the father is the spirit, the mother is intuition and wisdom. Put them two together, we become the offspring. We are aspirants of what? Becoming our best selves. That's how. And it plays out. This includes that they have the events of the story, understand, and then the characters and or deities within said story. Understanding the plot is the basic thing within all the stories. That's why I studied the Greek philosophy. Didn't know then, but every story had a plot. Okay, I love that. Why? There's a purpose for me sitting here spending my time watching. It's going to take me here and going to end me there. I got to figure out in between how it works. Fine. And doing so, I learned something. Okay, I get it. I got to move on. Thinking to teach you how to think. You got to pay attention, comprehend, and follow a process of learning. When I get to Egypt, it was so easy. Well, I already did it with them guys. That's why. So my mind was already trained to understand symbolism and understand plots and themes and mythological stories. Greek mythology. Hello. Okay, so the second stage is the ritual, the practicing of it. Rituals include what? Observance, ceremonies, customs, etc. Yesterday at church, we had Father's Day breakfast. That's an observant ceremony representing fathers on church day. We got together, had a little lesson, and good. But it all relates to a myth. Again, storytelling. In doing so, practicing that, if it's done in earnest, your third level of religion, again, I'm talking about religious people, all kinds, don't make a difference, is the mystical experience. The Christians who are blissed out, they know what that means. For all y'all who saying mystical experience, y'all still stuck on two, the myth and the ritual. Y'all haven't lived it. Y'all haven't manifested. So the magic didn't happen for you yet. You didn't have the mystical experience. That's the magic. That's the part they don't tell you. Why? You have to get there for yourself. I don't give you mastery. I teach you how to master yourself. You get there on your own. See? Simple. That's teaching. And watch this. When you don't understand, you claim to be something and you don't understand the mystic experience, like being a master mason, and you only got 2 degrees. You ain't a master mason. You're a mason. Okay? And some guys get 3 degrees, still ain't a master mason. But because if you don't understand the teachings, if you ain't practicing the teachings, the end result means nothing. Why? You ain't gonna get it. The mystical experience, you won't get it. That's why some do, some don't. The one, Cain and Abel. One gave all, one BS. The one that BS tried to take the one who gave it all credit and killed him. That's the oldest story. That's your ego fighting your spirit. Asar and Set. Okay? Asar, and Set, his evil brother. Move on. But it's all conceptual, mythological. But when you understand it, because you're practicing it, you understand. And now you see it. And what? The magic will happen. Trust me. Watch this. And the third level, watch this. The third level of religion is the mystical experience that a lot of y'all don't get. And they're going to tell you right here. The third level is the true objective of all religious practice. That's why I respect whatever belief system you follow. Why? I know the intent. I know the intent. That's why I'm there. But I don't have nothing against nobody's belief system. No. I understand them. I got a problem with y'all faking it. And thinking, nobody know. I see all through y'all nonsense. Moving on, that's why. But when it's done right, and without this stage, the third phase, religion and all those who follow it and talk it becomes dry and ineffective. You can pray till the cows come in. You can go to church and nothing's happening, and you're like, why? You ain't putting forth the effort. You bullshitting, excuse me. You BSing, okay? You ain't putting the effort. You talking a good game. And when you don't, how you know you're serving God? Let me make this right quick for you. I'm not Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I'm a spiritualist. I follow philosophy. And this is real simple. If what you're doing is not rendering blessings for you, either you doing something wrong or you're doing it for the wrong person. Your call. Why? Because God blesses those who are obedient to him. Don't make a difference with religion, y'all. He don't care. He don't say, oh, I'm just going to bless Muslims. Oh, we God's chosen people. All that nonsense. No. Anybody who chooses to do what God ordained or left for to do, follow the rules of life, Maya in ancient Egypt, that's what we was, and you get the rewards. Why? You'll see. That's the mystical experience that y'all claim about in religion. We already knew that. Masonry, 3 degrees, okay, for a reason. And when people, watch this, Christians or y'all belief system follows, when you just only practice the first and second levels of religion, the practice then often now becomes personal, argumentative, egoistic, as well as dogmatic and subjective. If it ain't what you think is wrong, if you ain't this, you're wrong. We got the right, we got the high God, we got all that nonsense showing your ignorance right there. But it don't go no further. Why? Because if you reach the third level, the mystical experience, you just know you got yours. You know you got yours. So what somebody think or feel about it, who it got, don't make a difference to you. I ain't telling you what to do. I just try to show you how I got mine. And if you want to do it, you can follow me. If not, go somewhere else. Then somebody's doing it too. I ain't the only one doing it. I know that also. Again, and this is the breeding ground for all this nonsense. This is the breeding ground for what? The conflict between religions. If what you doing works for you, you continue to do that. But that doesn't mean I have to. Simple as that. I got the right, called freedom of choice, okay, to choose what works for me. If what works for you is working and what works for me is working, why should we have a problem? We shouldn't have a problem at all. Okay, that's my point. But if you thinking what you're doing, everybody got to do, that's just wrong. Simple as that. Moving on. But in the big conflict between the religions, they count all y'all, as well as the biggest problem is misunderstanding. Ding, 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 and misinterpretation of the teachings. I ain't got time for that lesson, but I told you a long time ago. But the misunderstanding about what true religious practice is all about. Y'all got a bunch of perpetrators, and they leading you the wrong way. And y'all swear y'all got something. And ain't nothing worse than find out you're wrong when it's after it's too late. Because nobody can stop you right now. What you believe. Okay, if I'm trying to explain to you what I know, and you keep trying to tell me what you believe, we don't have to have an argument. You got the right to believe what you want. And I got the right to know what I know. So there's no argument. Moving on. But when you have what we call, let's talk about this right now, the mystical experience. The lesson in life is to have that for yourself. My mystical experience does nothing for you. Not a bit. Just like yours does nothing for me. But if we both had it, we can agree on what that experience. It's called blessings. Okay, whatever you call it, same thing. But that's God right there. So we ain't got to fight. Moving on. In the beginning, remember the story? Hadou is what? Even in the Garden of Eden, before they got to bite the apple of good and bad, eat from the tree, they was under God's auspiciousness. They didn't have to worry about nothing. Everything was cool, wasn't it? They didn't have to do nothing. When you follow him, God, he give you instructions. Just follow him. And he told them what to do, what not to do. And when God's law is broken, you have to pay the price. He don't give a damn about what you didn't know. No, I told you, when your kids break a rule that you have in the house, how you deal with that as a parent? I'll kick their ass to their nosebleed. Why? Don't break the damn rules. Simple. Why? There's a punishment they do it for a reason. When you break the laws out in the world, you go to prison. So it's always been that way. It ain't nothing changed. So don't get caught up in, nope. You are responsible for what you do. And if what you do is wrong, you know you're doing it wrong. Oh, you got to pay for that. Ignorance don't help no better, but doing something wrong knowingly, you just sold your soul. Why? That ain't what God wants you to do. And you knew that. Adam and Eve knew they shouldn't have eaten from the damn tree. But they did it. And what happened? Yeah, don't make a difference but this cute Adam. Well, she made me do it. Well, the serpent told me. Everybody pointing the finger. Ain't nobody took responsibility, but all of them got the hell out, didn't they? Snake just went on by his business. Why? He didn't lie. Sometimes the messenger is the one that get the bad rap. Because if the message ain't good for the people, then they're going to go on him. Moving on. But he didn't lie. Got another lesson about the serpent too. Y'all got that perfect question, perfect idea, a misunderstanding about the serpent. Y'all label him as a bad guy. Y'all need to maybe want to rethink that one. But 2,000 some odd years there, y'all ain't going to change. What? The serpent's still the bad guy in the Garden of Eden. But now we telling you, he didn't tell a lie. But they ain't going to question God. No. So, moving on. The mystical experience is what happens when you do the right thing. Watch this. And when Hadou was once with Ra, she didn't have to worry about nothing. But when he sent her out into the world, she experienced awareness of her essential nature as being what? United, one with God. Ra, her father. This is the mystical experience. Yeah, I get my feet. I'm trying to hope. I hope it's making sense. I'm in the groove right now. But it's telling you the mystical experience is what? That one true state of being. Everybody trying to get there. Every different kind of way. Everybody got their own way. Everybody's down here trying to get up here. Everybody got their own way. And that's fine. But because the work that it takes, the effort, energy it takes, they know everybody ain't gonna make it. So that's okay. Why? You decide for yourself. You want to make it up here. You want to be here. You want to be here. Your choice. That's free will right there. Okay. But knowing God for yourself is the mystical experience. That's what we label it as philosophical, philosophy. We call it the mystical experience. And for religion, y'all call it the awakening, the anointing. We call it spiritual lightning. Whatever you call it, the idea is to have it. That's my thing. And watch this. The mystical spirit is that true state of being. When I meditate, I go to that place When y'all go into a deep sleep, y'all go to that place. I know it when I go there. Y'all don't. Why? Because you sleep. I'm meditating. I go there. That's the difference. That's why you should practice meditating. But it represents a full awareness of what? Your spiritual self. Not the physical self. Your spiritual self, as well as an awareness of what? The unity of everything in creation. You become one. Everything is on the one. Everything comes from the one. To tell you that forever. And this is the true state of human consciousness. Being awoke, the eyes open, you know you. And watch this, your spiritual you. This state of consciousness is what is characterized by what you call all pervasiveness. You know everything. You reach the Akashic records. Ain't nothing off limits to you now with self-knowledge and mastery. Infinite expansion. You know all. Infinite freedom. You're free to do whatever. Infinite awareness and infinite peace of mind. That's the state that nobody can touch you. They call it blissed out, whatever we call it, hotel, supreme peace. You don't get that when you die. You reach that through living. In Indian mysticism, this state of consciousness, they call it gunas, okay? Or modes of what? Expression in which consciousness, which is God, expresses itself through what? The intellect, the mind. In the ancient Egyptian, we had the wisdom. We recognized this that as mixed of personality in the world, and even among the right thinkers we call aspirants, people who act, not believe, people who act what? Righteous. Sometimes, and at others, others not. Again, choice, free will, are explained in the understanding that gained from what? The myth of Heru and Tahuti in the three forms of human personalities. You got the Beg, B-E-G, that's represented by a leg, a tree, and the eye. That means lucid. Lucid means being conscious all the time. Watch this. Lucid dreaming, that means you're still aware even when you're dreaming, and they tell you right here. Watch this. Tahuti in the three forms of human personalities. Lucid means to be bright, to see. Nishash meaning agitated, disturbed, bothered, distracted state of mind. Somebody who's always into something. Now you see the people, they ain't never. They always they got somewhere to be, got somewhere to go, I got people, I got things to do. Those kind of people, that's an agitated mind. They're never gonna find peace. Why? They always busy. The mind is always busy. That's called an agitated mind. And then you got the met ab. That means you got a dull sense, a dull heart. That means your heart is not in what you're thinking and how you're feeling. It's on its own. That's the ego consciousness, okay? Your heart and mind ain't connected. Okay, the heart wants one thing, the mind wants something else. They're not united, they're not as one. And watch this, the lucid personality is content and well-adjusted, a seeker of higher culture and better things for themselves. Again, every individual has this opportunity and to have an experience of what? Inner peace and spiritual upliftment. That's the purpose of religion, to do those things for you. And when it's done and correct, it's a perfect environment, a village group, people doing good, inspiring each other, motivating each other, coming together for the common good. But we don't have enough of that, and that's a good thing. But we got a bunch of them that's doing it not the right way for other purposes. How about that? And God knows your heart. He knows when ain't no sincerity. When you go to church, and all they want to do is, y'all know, pass the plate. Y'all get some more money. We need the building fund. It's just a money grab. They get you, feeling good and all that, and then they reach into your pocket. I hate that concept, but that's what I see going on. But that's what y'all usually deal with. Why? The 85% of people who want to be fleeced, the 10% will fleece you. I'm the 5%. I just want to help you out. What you get from it? What I'm getting from it, You can't give me. God will. That's my point. I don't do this for the money. I do this for my blessings. Okay? And I need money, then the blessings will be in a monetary form. It's just that simple. Moving on. Let me wrap it up. I see the clock. I've got a few lessons. This is just the first part of the consciousness, one level. We're dealing with the lucidity. And when an agitated personality, why? The agitated personality is constantly swinging what? From peaceful to non-peaceful, good to bad, joy and pain, thoughts and actions. And they always what? Seeking for fulfillment of what? Of something temporary. Happiness. Happiness don't come from objects or things outside of you. If you're looking for that, you're looking for an illusion. Why? It ain't never going to happen, because it don't happen outside of you. That's why. And if you're ignorant of that, you don't even have a clue. You still chasing, okay? And happiness is when what? That wears off, that momentary thing. And what happens? Now you need to go and search of it again. I need another fix. Like a drug. When it wears off, you want what? You want to go back? You want to get high again? That's all. Like this, hitting that pipe. Whatever, anything that takes you somewhere that you like to be, you're going to do that. If you're what? Weak-minded, weak constitution, and if you like pleasures of the flesh or getting high, you sacrifice everything just for that pleasure. And that's weak-minded. Moving on. And watch this. This search for something, it leaves them elated when they get it, at the oftentimes depressed when they don't. That's back to that again. But you are the driver of that vehicle. And sometimes they are what? Lucid glimpses of their higher perspective in life. Every now and then, they get a taste of it, so to speak. And what? And then these are shut off. Why? Due to their ignorance. They can't get it again. It happened. I don't know how to get it again. That's an accident. Okay, that's when you start your practice. And when their desires that cause their mental distractions, because of the passions that cloud their intellect, you ain't thinking right when all you want to do is get yours. By any means necessary, man, you ain't thinking right. You just got one mission. We seen people on a mission, ain't nothing worse than a crackhead. Okay, they were promised the world, a junkie. They would do anything to get high. Okay, and whatever they got to say do to get high, that's what they're going to do. That's sad, but that's a reality. And the dull personality, that's what it is only capable or incapable of what? Envisioning a higher perspective of life. You try to tell a person who want to get high, look, man, they ain't trying to hear none of that. Okay? They on a mission. And when people are like that, you can't help them. As I said, the person who don't know, leave them be. Why? They got to figure it out for themselves. And they're going to waste your time. Why? They're going to drain you dry. Okay. But wrapping it up, it seeks what? Those kind of people seek for what is what? Base and pretty much degrading as it is. What? Physical, selfish things that they want. And it's never good for nobody but themselves. But the things they do to do that is what hurt other people. And the intellect of such a person is atrophied, closed up. They can't see nothing. In a higher, more advanced sense, there are only two groups of people, two kinds of people. Nihastu, that's us right thinkers, spiritually awakened. And then you got to ignorant. Okay? It's fact. The opposite of chaos is the opposite of good is ignorant. Knowledge is nihasti, and ignorance has always been ignorant. That's set. That's the ego. The ego is ignorant of what is higher self. Don't be set. Get knowledge of self, raise your conscious level, and change your level of understanding about who you are. Next thing I'm going to talk about the distracted or agitated mind. I'll be right back. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know my right thinkers start to get conscious of who they are. They passed away. I'll be right back.